El Deafo is a semi-autobiographical and graphic novel by C.C. Bell. The book endeavors to undermine the negative representations of deafness by representing C.C.'s difference as valid, even empowering, with the assist of modern technology. Throughout the storyline, C.C. critiques the first view of normalization and indicates the inclusive education as a human right. The novel begins when C.C. is 4 years old, born with hearing able. She lives a rather ordinary and happy life in a quiet neighborhood with her parents. One day, C.C. falls very ill and requiring hospitalization. Her doctors diagnose her with meningitis, an inflammation of the tissues surrounding the brain. Though she recovers from the illness, she had permanently lost her hearing. And because of this, from now on, Cici has to wear a thing called hearing aids in order to be able to hear things again. After the incident, Cici's family moved to a new place and Cici has to make new friends. However, due to her condition, Cici's new friends had, despite many signs of deficit discourse toward her. According to Humphrey 2014, deficit discourse refers to the language used to place responsibility on those who hold an inflicted problem. The term is often create negative and damaging identities for those the term is given. So in the story, Cici always had a bubble of loneliness, and two of her first friends only make it bigger and it's not inclusive her in their world. Cici's first friend, Laura, had shown many signs of deficit discourse toward her. Laura is a very bossy girl and had a possessive over Cici. In the situation that Cici just gets to a new and a strange school, she is desperate to make friends, so she had let Laura push her around. Laura doesn't make a big deal about Cici hearings, but she's egoistic and doesn't want Cici to have any other friends. Laura also makes Cici do things she didn't enjoy. Laura displayed the lack of sensitivity, showed little empathy with how she treated Cici, and a low expectation for Cici. Then there's her second friend, Jeannie. Jeannie is much less bossy, but she calls Cici her deaf friend and speaks so loudly and slowly that Cici had trouble understanding her sometimes. Jeannie also simply can't see past Cici's deafness and constantly points it out by the way she treated Cici as an impaired person. However, there are complications and misunderstanding even with those friends who do treat Cici well. That is because Cici struggles to pluck up the courage to speak up for herself, and because Cici's own internal conception of what it means to be deaf, therefore different. Through this view, the author has critiqued the first view of normalization. According to Foreman 2015, the first view indicates that everyone needs to live the same life as everyone else in the same society. The same here, or normal life, can be defined by the people in the same society as what most others in the same culture usually do or would prefer to do. In the book, her friend did not see Cici as a normal person, therefore she needs special treatment.
Contrasting to Laura and Ginny, Martha is a good friend of Cici. How Martha treats Cici demonstrating how an inclusive education should be. Martha was the one who popped Cici's bubble of loneliness. Martha has treated Cici like every other friend, regardless of Cici's hearing aid. Martha knew that Cici was wearing hearing aids, but Martha did not mention it or looking at Cici differently. Martha was being there for Cici as a friend, which is what she wants. They eat, they play, they run around the house. And when Cici came to her house, Martha asked Cici if she had turned off her hearing aid before sleeping. But Martha was worried. Cici fired hard to hear her. So when Cici said yes, Martha said that it's okay, and it's hilarious because I wish I could do that with my sister. So Martha was being there for Cici as a good friend and to learn about Cici and what Cici's differences and preferences. This presents the features of whole person approach and respect for value of diversity in core features of inclusive education, which has been outlined in General Comment number 4 in United Nations 2016. Therefore, El Deafo's story has depicted example of deficit discourse language and inclusive education which support teachers and students to be more inclusive and celebrating and be adaptive to all students' differences.